Now, can you see me? Can you hear me? I don't know what was going on there. It was saying I was live, but my screen was just black and there was a loading. Okay, good, good, good. Ariel, can you? Hey, Gerald, everyone, please let me know if you can hear me and see me. Something was going on there with my computer, a little glitch there. I'm on a different laptop tonight. I can see from just this quick, just this minute in here, very much darker camera, much more contrasty. Whoa, we got a crew coming in quick. Hit that like button if you would. Hit that like button. Glad you can hear me. The furnace is roaring over there. The blower is running, but it should cut out in a few minutes, so it'll quiet down then. Andrew is here. Gerald, Michael, Elijah, welcome, welcome, welcome. Mr. Ricardus is even here tonight. Whoa, isn't that something? How's everyone's week going? It's been a good week here. A little bit of a different week, but all good. Run off our feet busy, but that's not usually a bad thing. Oh, Michael says he's not too bad. Are you get some workers straightened out, buddy? Brad King is here. Mr. King, hey, how you doing? If you guys could just entertain each other in the chat for 1 minute. I worked right up until 7:55. We were just buzzing about here. Dad just walked out, and I've needed to pee for probably 45 minutes now. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to grab some knives because tonight it's been a little bit now. Been a couple weeks since I've had some new knives timed in to show you, but I've left them all right there tonight. What I was working on the last couple days, so you can see. So if you just give me a minute. Okay, I got to shut that blower off. The furnace won't like the extra heat, but I've got to shut it down. I can't handle the racket. How's everyone doing? Oh, Gerald, that Puco build, I'm excited about it. I think Mr. Strapped and Dangerous there is in. There's a number of fellows that it's been paused for kind of a couple weeks. I don't want to push ahead with a project like that until I can get, as they say, my ducks in a row here first. I'm trying to figure out a couple things. So I don't want to jump on and take on that new project until I get myself straightened away here. Oh, Mr. Over, I read your email. Thank you so much for that incredible review. That just made my day when I read just how pleased you were. Mr. Over sent in I think I might have showed him on a live stream a little while ago, several weeks ago now, but They were almost complete. It was sort of the Schrade sharp, or the old timer sharp finger style knife. There was a pair of them in Spectra ply. Mr. Over sent in his drawings, the exact specs, exactly what he wanted, the thickness, the taper, the shape, the design, everything. And then we took that and went with that and built him a pair of beautiful knives. But of course, when someone sends in, and this is no offense to you at all, Mr. Over, when someone sends in such specific drawings, I'm talking through a couple custom builds right now. One fella is here in the chat in particular. We're talking through a custom build. But when that person is so specific and there's so many details that they want incorporated into the knife, as a maker, by the time you're getting ready to send out, you're just, really hoping that you nailed it. Because when they have such specific instructions, of course, they must have such a specific image in their mind. They know exactly what they're looking for. So it's always a worry. Will I accomplish exactly the image that's in their mind? And I know the old saying goes, how is that? Expectation is the father of disappointment, or something like that. And so there's that fear. Is what I'm building exactly what they have in their mind? And I'm so glad for Mr. Over, it is exactly what he was looking for. And they are beautiful knives. You had some great design taste, Mr. Over. I appreciate you putting in that order. It was a pleasure to build. Mr. Stealth, I do not have different blade options. They keep factory buck blades. I get them come in. Speaking of which, let me run and grab some stuff from the cabinet. I'll just be a second. I can even turn you guys, just so you're not too bored. Let me give you a shot of the beautiful stitcher there. Again, probably would have been nice if this was all set up a little bit ago, but a little carried away with work here in the shop. Got some cool stuff here, guys. Worth the wait. Brand new materials. Let's see here. Let's see. Thank you very much, Clinton. Actually, Clinton, I believe your build was sent out early this week. You should have gotten a tracking email. If not, I can send it manually. Well, that's Strapped and Dangerous just made a great point there. He says, "You've earned my trust. I expect you to be the master of artistic decisions and final arbiter of good taste and function. You don't hire an expert and then tell them how to do it." I do agree. I don't. The client base, as a general rule, holds that same opinion. I really appreciate when clients make that clear. I really appreciate it when they say, this is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. But you have a little artistic freedom, or if please speak if you don't think that color works or that design element doesn't work. I do appreciate that. But certainly a percentage of the customer base doesn't have that level of understanding. They're looking for an exact knife. And if it's not exactly that, there's a problem, which can be tiring. But that's all part of it. That's all part of it. Hello, Kathleen. How are you doing? We're back on schedule tonight. Of course, we've been a couple weeks now, kind of mess up the schedule on my part. Events going on, things going on around here, and I haven't been able to make it in on schedule. But let's have a look. Let me show you first a yellow fox. These were supposed to be put up on the website for Father's Day. By the way, let me start off. knknives.ca is my website. Running a sale there, discount code DAD all week. It's Father's Day sale for 10% off your entire order, which can make up a very nice discount on some of the stuff that's on there. But a little bit of fiber from the buffer left in this one. But as I was saying, you can head over to knknives.ca and get 10% off your entire order. These yellow foxes, I have a number of them here. We're supposed to make it up on the website for the Father's Day sale. The site has been stripped of a lot of product in the last week or so. There have been a lot of items gone. You can go on there now, and I've taken down a lot. Usually as they pop up out of stock, as they sell out, I try to remove them from the site so you don't have to go in and see out of stock. I want you to just focus on the stuff that's there instead of complain, oh, that's the one I wanted there and it's not available. If it's not in front of you, you don't have to go through that negative emotional experience. But if you go there right now, I haven't had a chance recently, and there are a bunch of out of stock. It's been an encouraging week. It's been very, very nice. I'm glad people take advantage of the Father's Day sale. Number of orders I see pop up on my phone tonight while I'm working here. But these were supposed to make it to the site, and I dropped the ball on it. I don't even think I got to photo shooting them yet. But it is a beautiful red burgundy burlap. Just look at the finish on that. This camera is really dark and contrasty, but this is a beautiful, like a wine red burlap with brass pin and tube, a natural, the camera is almost too dark to see it, but a natural micarta liner, 16 thick, so a nice chunky liner. But the yellow fox is just such a great pattern, such a great hunter, skinner, woods blade. Really fits nice in the hand. You've got that very deep finger groove there, I'll call it. And so your hand just locks in. And that's the idea, to kind of keep your hand from slipping up over the blade if you're working a lot repeatedly around fluids, that type of thing. That's the idea. You also got a beautiful thumb purchase here that just fits nice in the hand. Lots of belly, nice big rounding sweep there. So it's just, you can imagine how it has all the right features for a great hunting and game processing blade. But these are available. If you're looking for a beautiful yellow fox for a gift for Dad, you can shoot me an email and we can get it on the way. We can send you some nice pictures so you can show Dad what's on the way for him, even if it's not here yet. I know that happens. I'm guilty of it too. Print off a picture. Here's the gift that's coming. But I just think that's a beautiful material. I had a few sheets of it come in. I've never had it or worked with it before. But it's really, really nice. Really nice. Let's see. Let me just go in order here because I've got some beautiful stuff. I have check out the comments here. Dennis says he loves character in pieces, not exact duplicates, especially in wood. I feel the same way. I like little things going on, bits of character, interesting things, kind of cool art inclusions and artifacts. I really like that. And I think that makes it even more special to get a piece of, let's see, a piece of curly maple. And you see these couple inclusions right here. Really cool. Almost a little small bit of spalting or something. Just adds a bit of character. But this is a standard bake apple model. You can see saber grind, very typical of the bake apple. And it's in a natural curly maple. Look how much figuring is on that piece. Thick red liner, 1/8 inch, and then a filed tang. Isn't that nice? Which I don't do too often on my fixed blades, usually only on request. But that just came out awesome. What a unique piece. What a great heirloom piece. I mean, this is something that you can use for 40 years and pass it down to a grandson. It's that type of finish, that type of beauty. Just something special. Not much around like it. Nothing around like it. Of course, the bake apple is a beloved pattern. Let me jump to this one now. This is another yellow fox, but sort of a custom build for a client. And this is natural curly maple. And this is mammoth molar, mammoth tooth. Wine red in the stabilizing there, wine red. And then we've got a real thick black liner and spacer. Really nice polished tang. It just came out very, very nice. Interesting. Isn't that a nice pop there? That thick red band right through the handle. Conversation piece for sure with that mammoth tooth. Clinton, if you didn't receive the email, you can shoot me an email and I'll make sure we get a tracking email sent off to you. I know it was sent out, but perhaps the email wasn't included, or sometimes you just don't get the automated. It's an automated system. It's a new system I'm working with this year, and it's supposed to make it happen automatically. So once I print the label, or once I enter in the package dimensions and the customs form and the address and all that, it asks for an email and a phone number. And once I enter that in and hit send, it should automatically send you your package is now shipping and your tracking information and all the stuff along with it. I get emails occasionally saying, hey, I didn't get tracking information. I don't know if they're not sending, if they're going to junk folders. I don't know what it is, but right here, this is an interesting piece. This is a custom build. The client asked for a mini warrior. If you didn't know, let's just show you a warrior here. This is the warrior. Warrior is a very large knife. It's the largest or the heftiest pattern I build. It is over 9 inches in length, full 1.5 inches, usually a little touch more deep. 3/16 slab. Oh, look at that knife. Look at that filing on the 3/16 slab. It just shows out so much. It's just wham. This is ancient bog oak here. Look at the finish on that. Just glassy. Beautiful. Forge finish on that piece. That's just beautiful. But you can hit the like button for that. That's worth a thumbs up there, I think. Isn't that just beautiful? I couldn't tell you at the moment where this knife is headed. But it's a custom order, custom build for a client. But we have this piece is a full-size warrior. And then we asked for a mini warrior with the stipulation we want it close to or rough, I believe the stipulation was 1.25 inches deep versus 1.5 inches. So it still had to be quite deep. It has to be 7 inches long max and resemble the Warrior in design and grind and so on. Also lightened down to 1/8 inch thick steel. So what do you think? Mini Warrior? I believe the request was also to make this a little milder than the Warrior, which has a kind of a sharp cut there. The Warrior has a smaller radius finger choil here, which works great on such a big knife because your hand can get right up to the toe of the handle. I'll say the forefront of the handle can get right up, where versus a milder grip, you're just pushed back ever so slightly more. But that is my rendition of a Mini Warrior. Natural micarta, brass hardware. What do you think? Leave a comment. While we're on, yeah, you like that? I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a blade that I could definitely EDC. It's just enough handle that I could squeeze 4 fingers on there. My pinky is kind of off a little bit, but I don't mind that kind of grip at all. But this would make a great EDC blade, kind of a thick, stout EDC blade. Oh, Brad, I don't think I can handle another production model right now. It's a fun idea for sure. An XL Warrior, even larger. Which way would you go, Gerald, to be an XL Warrior? Would you go deeper, longer? What would you do? Side by side with the Bake Apple, sure. The Bake Apple is 6 inches in length. There we go. Bake Apple 6 inches in length and roughly 1 inch, 7/8 of an inch deep versus 1.25 inches. The Bake Apple split down the middle, pretty much 50-50 ratio. This one favors the handle a little bit more, but you can do that when you have that extra inch to work with. But there you go. That's what we're looking at. 6 to 7 inch blade. How about, did you see on that note, the video release? Yeah, it would have been this week where I started the pair, building the pair, the Camp Chef's knife and the Camp wood processing knife, or the chopper. Those are actually done there in the cabinet, but I don't want to show them just yet because we're playing out the video series. But just completed those yesterday. Leather work and all. I filmed the whole thing. That's coming out. I would imagine part 2 will release tomorrow. But that big one is, let me get a measurement real quick just for a reference for you. Yeah, so that is a 7-inch blade on that big one, 7-inch blade, and very similar in lines and style to the Warrior. The handle's kind of tailed out the same way, but that is a beautiful knife. Feels so great in the hand. They're now finished up. I'm going to see if I can get a pinky lanyard on it for the customer. Maybe even a little. Is my sight down? I'm going to check right now live. Checkout wasn't working for you. What were you seeing? What were you seeing happen there? I'll call you Klupar because that's what's up there. But I could definitely make a. I could definitely make an XL warrior, but that's what we're basically seeing there in that custom. But the next two parts of that, the site's working fine for me there, friend. Heading into my cart, it's added to cart. Yeah, everything looks just normal to me. Let me know if you continue to have trouble. I'll see what's going on. I won't try to buy it there now because I might buy you out of stock. And I don't want to do that. Then we'll have a whole other problem. So I hope you get it there. If not, we can handle it privately. Hey, Rick, thanks for chiming in. Okay, Mr. Over, thanks for checking that out and confirming for me. I just noticed in there then, I flicked through the site real quick, and it's really getting picked down. We're going to jump back on, of course, rebuilding some stock there now. But knknives.ca, if you want to jump in on this Father's Day sale, 10% off using code DAD. Now's the time. Now's the time. Don't delay. Let's have a look at some more beautiful steel. Are you enjoying looking at some beautiful knives? Have a look at this. Have a look at this piece. This is ancient bog oak. This is mammoth molar with a brass spacer here. All brass hardware. Thick black liner. Polished tang. Isn't that nice? I just think that's a beautiful knife. The Warriors have been a huge seller for the last couple months. I'm not sure if people are just on a big knife kick or what, but Dad commented just, I believe it was earlier this week or late last week. We were working on a couple Warrior patterns, and he said, man, he said, what's going on lately? The Warriors are just really rolling out the door, and it's, except for the Master Hunter, it's the most expensive production model knife I make, but they are just, they're moving quickly lately, and a number of requests for them. Mammoth is extremely durable, Clinton, and especially when it's landlocked, when it's locked in like this, it can't move. It's extremely durable. But it's actually, it's hard to work with because it's so hard. It's hard to cut. It's hard to grind. It's hard to polish. It's just brutal. It's like working with glass is kind of what it's like. And that also means if unsupported, it can fracture. If I were to just take a piece of mammoth molar here, a slab like this, and bend, unsupported like that, it can break fairly easily. It's brittle. What would you call that? Low shear strength, or I can't remember the name of the terms now. But if it's backed by something and supported, it doesn't want to separate this way. It doesn't want to chip and break up once it's back supported. It's this bending with no support that's a problem. Do I mess with straight razors? Absolutely. I have a beautiful collection. If you go back to my content way back from years ago, some of my earliest content was around straight razors, restoring, sharpening, shaving. I did a shaving sharp Saturday or something series way back in the day. And I would shave regularly with straight razors on camera. I have a beautiful collection of them. I have a bunch here in the shelf waiting for restoration, and I really want, yeah, Michael remembers that series. I love straight razors, absolutely love them. If I remember correctly, Michael, don't you mess with straight razors as well, buddy? Greg Underhood, welcome. I'm glad you made the stream. Klubar asked to see a Tuckamore in hand. Now this is a beautiful piece. This is a beautiful piece. A custom order. Oh, look at that polish. That's insane on camera there. That's insane. Okay, you won't find this on the website because blade polishing, I will admit, I charge a lot for blade polishing because it is an absurd amount of work. It takes so much time and effort to bring a blade up to this grade of polish. Just a lot of time investment. And so I have to charge accordingly. And in that case, they don't usually make it to the website. They don't go up as production knives. But this is a Tuckamore in every sense of the word. Nothing's been changed, just the finish. So you have 1/8 inch thick steel. You have about 8.5 inches overall length, saber grind. This is the Tuckamore right here. It's a beautiful do everything woods knife. Great around the campfire, great around the barbecue. It would work great with food prep, firewood prep. It would work great in a hunting, game, angling scenario. It's not too much one way. You know, when you look at something like the yellow fox here, it was designed to be a hunter's and angler's knife. It has the elements that allow it to do that really well. And so while it would be just great as a campfire whittler, or it would do all right, would do just fine with your food prep and that type of thing. You don't have a lot of straight edge there. It has things that make it a little bit more one-dimensional. It was designed to be or to work for one main task, and it just happens to be good at some other tasks as well. The Tuckamore was designed to do it all. It will handle it all. I just love looking at that polish, don't you? Isn't that just a beautiful thing? Really, really love that. And the stamp shows out so good as well. Better be careful. Do I have an edge? Yes, I do have an edge on this piece. I'm waving it around like I don't care, but got to be a little more careful. I don't want any trouble here. A Tuckamore like that is a showpiece. Of course, it functions just as well as any other piece, and I would love to see this out getting beat on in the forest. Not abused, but to me, a knife like this shouldn't sit on the mantle. Shouldn't spend his life on the mantle. It should be around a campfire, and you pull it out and you whittle a stick while you're making a s'more or eating a hot dog, and people are just drawn to it, and you're watching the fire reflect off of this finish. And it's just a conversation piece. You pull this out around the camp, and people from 50 feet away can catch that gleaming blade, and they have to see it and they have to look at it, and you've got to show it around, and one fellow's passing it to the next, and that type of thing. That's what I would like for all of my knives, of course. Not to sit on a shelf, but to work like that. Sir Knife a lot. Hey. Gerald. I think we're doing a polished grind on that carving knife anyways, aren't we? Was that a plan? Ooh, Jingle Bells has a Tuckamore in blue G10. That's fun. A 6-inch boning knife. Something like it I have. Maybe a little leaner than a boning knife. A little leaner this way, but a bit thicker than a boning knife. Because I primarily work or try to keep in the 1/8 inch thick range. Okay, this is a great comment here. Mr. Stropton Dangerous, if you see in the comments, Mr. Stropton Dangerous has a number of my knife models, so he can compare them, and he's played with and handled with a lot of them, and so you can listen to his comment there. You can read it. He says the tuck is his favorite pattern in hand. I guess he's talking about out of the different models that he's had of mine. Kind of an improved cross between a Castrum SFK 8 and an SFK 10. So if you're looking for some good comparison information, there it is. There it is. Clinton, I don't hope for anyone to get hurt with my knives. I remember a few years ago now, I was still up in the old shop, and a guy contacted me. And what was it happened? He ordered a beautiful yellow fox. And again, a reminder, and I have these available. They're just not on the site. You can contact me. But he ordered a beautiful yellow fox, and they got around the campfire with his brother. And I don't remember if he did it or his brother did it. One of them went to try the new knife, and they went through, I think it was their thumb, and cut the face off of their thumb, and even further came off, and I believe slicked the brother's leg, cut through his pants and snipped his leg. So whichever brother it was, cut the face off his thumb, and in the same motion, snicked his brother's leg open. And he contacted me, not in any type of way. It was just, I had repeated communication with the guy about, hey, you've got the blade. How do you like the blade? And so on. And yeah, it was a nasty injury. I had talked to him months later, a couple months later from that incident, and he was still, his finger, his hand was recovering from it. You do a lot of damage with a deep cut like that. I felt a little bad, not in any type of responsibility, of course, but we don't want to see people get hurt. I myself had a very bad accident with a small hatchet or an axe a number of years ago, and it could have easily been a life-ending accident. I was at the cabin. I was in a little bit of a hurry, got a little bit careless, knelt down in a way that I never usually do, just in a moment of not thinking quite carefully enough. I swung the axe, and my leg would have been here like this, basically, as I knelt down, and it kicked off the block of wood, and the heel of the axe went right in the inside of my thigh. And of course, you know the danger of the inside of your thigh. It got sorry if I bother you guys here. We'll stop with the gory talk here now. But yeah, that could have been a life-ending one for me. And it bothered me for a while, but Alan. My kids, talking about that, my kids laugh so hard. It's such a beautiful moment as a dad when there's like moments that your kids really get a point of humor. And the movie, the original Kung Fu Panda movie, and they're fun movies. We really like them. But he walks into this ancient hall. It's kind of the Hall of Heroes or something. And it's all these artifacts from these mystical ancient Chinese warriors. And I think it's called the Sword of Heroes or something. And he said, it's said to be so sharp you can cut yourself just by, ow. And then he grabs his hand. That's what that reminded me of. But that scene always cracks us up. My oldest daughter, she's 7, almost 8. She thinks that scene is hilarious. And I think it's real fun too. Alan, it's great to have you here, buddy. I've been wondering where you've been. I know I've missed a couple streams too, so that probably hurts us here. Strapped and dangerous. A clean cut is leaves less scars as well. Leaves less scars. Yeah, Dennis, I had a good kit on me that day. Not as good as I should. I didn't have an actual tourniquet. And now all of my kits, I think, have tourniquets in them. But when you're a poor university student, and a good quality tourniquet is like what, 40 or $50 for a decent quality one, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And so I didn't have them in my kits. But what I did have was a bundle of paracord. And so I tied off my leg, my upper thigh, and that probably saved me there. That was the saving. So it's good to have good gear. It's good to have a good tourniquet. I've got a couple here in the shop now, great tourniquets, lots of good bandages and so on. Michael, absolutely I did. That's the cheap way to get some good, nice size bandages, right? Um, female female hygiene pads. But I did. I slapped. I think we ripped out 3 or 4 of those, slapped on it, grabbed the paracord, and just laced my leg down. So it was just a load of pressure, just compressing it, and that kept me. Everything was pretty stable, not too much going on. We managed to get back to the vehicle. We had a 30-plus-minute drive then to get to the hospital because we're where we are here. Went right into emerge. And it wasn't until when they started working, of course, they had to take off that paracord. And that's when it got real serious, real fast. It was a mess, was certainly a little bit scary. Very painful at that time. Wasn't too painful before then, but that's when it got nasty, nasty. I think I seen up there, yeah, Klupar was successful with their order. And I can see it right here. Beautiful. Thank you very much for your order. I see here, I subscribe, but I don't see the discount applied. I can see it from my end that it was taken off your order. You should have seen it on your receipt there when you checked out. But if you have any questions on it, you can go ahead and email me about it, and I can clear it up. You guys are great with the comments. It makes things so nice when you're chit chatting. We can have a bunch of fun here. This is great. This is what I'd like the live stream to be. We're almost 45 minutes in, and okay, good, Klupar, great. And again, I'm calling you that. That may be your first name. I have no idea, but hey, Chad, you made it, buddy. How was your evening? Did you make it out this evening? Yeah, Chad, we were just talking about the hatchet incident. If I remember correctly, Chad, didn't you buy that hatchet from me right after that? I think I sold it. I sort of developed a hatred. Oh, and he still got it. He did buy it. Okay, I think that's when I met Chad the first time. I was living in St. John's at the time, and he saw. I don't remember how he saw that I was selling it, but he came over and picked it up at my house in there, and that's when I got to meet Chad. I think that's the only time I ever met Chad in person. But Chad's been a good friend for years. He's been around for a long time. Really appreciate Chad's support. Blue Dog, all you old icons, all you old treasures are here tonight. It is nice to have a nice tag for that case, because if you think on my end, I have no other way to address you. And even though you just said your name is Eric, the chances of next Friday night me remembering that Klupar is Eric, and that there are some different ones. Oh, Scott Stapleton is here. Sorry I didn't catch your comment, buddy. They're kind of stacking in there. welcome. I hope you're still hanging out. Really hope you had a great week, Scott, my friend. Scott has been around for a long time and has been a wonderful supporter of KN Knives. I really appreciate his support and his friendship over the years. He's been really excellent to me. Always fun when Scott comes knocking, looking for a custom build or looking for a piece. Scott, if you don't mind me saying, Scott, but Scott also shops for family members and things like that too. And it's just he's a great guy. Scott's a great guy. You guys, everyone is making friends here, chatting to each other. Who was it? I think. Okay, Michael said, "Give us a quick show of your knives that are still unspoken for." Oh, slim pickings there. The yellow fox in the wine micarta is all that I have here on the bench that isn't headed out the door to someone. Oh, and 1 second. You can probably guess what it is just by me doing this. If you saw my video on YouTube this week, I put up a really cool shorts where I showed a bunch of buck knives. But out of all that I posted, and that most of them were already custom orders, sold, built to order, but I built an extra one just for kicks. It will go up on the website for sale eventually if it doesn't sell privately. But this is a buck 110 in the brass finish, and it's got like a dark navy or royal blue maple burl. Looks much more blue in person than you can appreciate there. Foiled tang. It's just really an exquisite piece. Spanking new, brand new knife, unused. And it's, it's a beauty. And I'm holding it like this because it's not that they're that delicate. But of course, when these show up to their new owners, I don't want them to have any of my oil stains on them. And brass is like that. It gains that. And that's a beautiful thing, but I want it to be yours, not mine. So I hold it with towels, and it also makes it so that I don't have to buff that again before I send it out the door. We have a beautiful 110 in mammoth tooth here. Different file work pattern on this one. Try to do something a little different, but these are beautiful. The mammoth molar really is special material. And then a 112 to match. If you haven't seen that video, you can go check it out. I'm glad you guys like the bucks. The bucks are a lot of fun, and they're just beautiful. Michael, I think you need that buck, buddy. Chad suggests or is recommending that everyone hit that like button. That would be great. That would be great. I'd appreciate it. And again, if I could say, it's been great having a nice big crowd here tonight. Chad went out for supper with the missus. They're going to have a nice movie night. Oh, what a beautiful life. Chad, I get what you're saying. Chad says he loves the buck 110, but he doesn't like carrying a folder on his hip because if he's going to carry something that has to actually sit out on his hip, it wants a fixed blade, and I can understand that. That's where the mini tradesman comes in. Let's see how rough it's looking now. Getting a little more degraded each time this thing gets beat on and beat on. Leather is holding up beautifully. Look at that. She's looking a little rough. I put some good marks in the back of the handle recently. I can't remember what I was doing, but as I was doing it, I was saying, that's going to leave a mark. That's going to leave a mark. You can see a couple of those dents and chips there. I can't remember what I was cracking on. Some kind of steel edge. Left a few marks in the G10, but that's okay. And if your knife that you buy from K&N Knives, if you get it dinged up and chipped up and rough and stained, you send it on into Uncle Kyle and we'll get it all fixed up for you. That I get that occasionally. I'm still thinking about that subscription service that I was considering, but I think I'm going to follow through with that. But yeah, I do that often. I don't get many of my knives back. Occasionally, I'll get one back for what I'll call a refresh. There's not usually any repairs or anything like that, but clean up, wire wheel the blade, give the whole handle a light refinish and buff all those brass pins that have got a little tarnish, bring them back to a gleaming mirror, clean out the thong tube, oil the sheath, that type of thing, just getting it real nice, and send it back, and they've got a brand new knife again. A brand new knife. It's a beautiful thing. Blue Dog says, I don't want to bother you. Did you ever email back? My email has been working crazy. I couldn't be sure right off the hand, buddy. I'm a few emails behind there right now. I've been picking at it every chance I get, but I couldn't tell you right offhand. If you'd like, you can shoot me another email just to make sure, and we'll confirm. Just as a reminder there now, if you want to do that. Michael, I know that you've been putting the mini tradesmen through the ringer. You've been really putting some good work on it, and I love that. Michael's been sharing with me some pictures and kind of taking me on the journey of where the mini tradesman is going, which is a lot of fun because he works in a welding and fabrication type environment. So hard work, dirty work, aggressive work, and I love it. He'll take the mini tradesman out and lay it on his project and snap a picture and send it over. He'll take it and, on the lunch table or out on the back of a semi truck or whatever, take a quick picture. Those are really fun for me to see. Kind of like, I've never seen the movie, but I get the concept of it. The Traveling Pants movie or whatever, where they, I think they send each other pictures or something of this one pair of pants in different places. I might be messing that up, but it's kind of fun seeing the storyline of where this knife is traveling and what it's doing. Clinton, you headed out, buddy. Good night. Happy Father's Day to you, sir. Chad, now that is an idea to go with the 2-pin design for the full-size tradesman as well. The tradesman it's kind of like a reverse tanto, but it's unsharpened. I just went over. I really like the Benchmade 940 or the Benchmade Osborne design. I think it's a great design knife. I carried it for a long time. I still have one, and I love it. But of course, there's a weakness in having a folding knife, and that type of knife in particular. Although the blade is stout, the joint, the lockup feels a little frail to me, but it's what you get with folding knives, even with premium folding knives. But I like the lines of it, but I've also come to learn what tasks work, what blade shapes, design elements, size, dimension, shapes, those types of things, what works well for different scenarios. I've been carrying knives every single day for a long time, many years, into decade plus now. And I've been in a lot of environments from, just my life in general. I do a lot of different things. We've built within our family here. We've built, gone through home renovations and gone through building garages and sheds and small outbuildings. And we've gone through taking care of animals around and the chickens around the yard. And I've been a gardener for a length of time, and I work in the shop here all the time as a knife maker, and I work as a leather worker, so I spend a lot of time at the workbench. But I also do a lot of work like you see on the boat and the truck build and out around the other side of the shop where you're doing electrical work and you're around steel and you're deburring metals. I've just gained, and all of this, again, I'm carrying a knife on my hip. So I think I've gained a really good idea of what works for what scenarios, what blade shapes. And so I wanted to design a knife that's not just for the woodsman or the hunter, the backcountry guy, but the rancher or the farmer or the construction worker on a job that's maybe a wood framer, a roofer, that type of thing. And those design elements that the tradesmen have, the long straight edge is what you want. In those scenarios, you don't want a big sweeping belly like that. It doesn't work well working on a workbench around leather work and that type of thing. All of this depth doesn't work well when you're doing some electrical work underneath the boat trailer or that type of thing. Those elements don't work well that the yellow fox has. It's not ideal, but the tradesman and the mini tradesman, it's perfect. It's got the right angle so that you can cut on a bench well. It's got a nice long straight edge, which works well in so many EDC scenarios. It's stout enough that it works well as a pry tool, as a screwdriver. The tradesman is just, it has all the elements you'd want for an EDC knife. Michael mentioned the perfect steel. Doesn't chip like the Benchmade. It's not quite as hard and brittle as some steels. It's manageable in terms of being able to put an edge back on it. It's just really nice. Chad says it's definitely a working knife. Has a tip that can be used like a scratch awl. Long, slightly swept face that's both slicey and tough. You can cut off wire with it or whittle down a wedge, pry bar utility knife. Absolutely. All of those things is what I'm going for. It's a working man's knife. And I've put up some shorts and reels and that things on Facebook, Instagram, that type of thing, where I'm beating on this knife and prying open paint cans with it. And it's just, it has those elements for a busy person, a person who's out at stuff, getting stuff done. If all you ever did, I'll add to my repertoire, I spent a lot of time in a professional environment as well. And so I've been in so many different environments, done a lot of things, man. I've seen a lot of stuff. And I know what works well. I've figured out what works well in what scenario, what you're going to want, what's going to feel good and impress you in each scenario. And so I could probably do a better job of telling you that on the website. I recognize that I could give a really good block description of what I just said. Here's the yellow fox. Here are the design elements. Here is what those design elements are intended to do. And you should buy this knife if you're this person. I probably should include that on the website and not assume that you all know just what you're looking for. I see Brad King. I'm probably missing comments here as we go down, guys. There's been a lot going in tonight, which is a lot of fun. Brad King says he's been putting his mini tradesman through its paces, and he absolutely loves it. Great EDC with the pocket sheath. I love the pocket sheath too. Absolutely love that pocket sheath. It just transforms the knife, in my opinion. The Friday Knife Live. That's clever. I've had a couple different people over the years say that I should play more on the KN and knives. And I designed a shirt a year or two ago. I probably should have it printed, but it's I love knives, but then the KN is big emphasize. So it's like KN knives, but all in one word. It's I love knives. It's got the Newfoundland flag in it, that type of thing. Let me know if you'd be interested in a shirt like that. I thought it was cool because even guys that aren't huge KN knives dudes, who would want a shirt that's, a big I love knives kind of thing. It just kind of represents who you are. Hey, Rocco, you made it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Michael says Kyle's belts are amazing too. I've got a bunch of belts here on the table. Just had a bunch of belts and buckles come in right now. I have a bunch to build. More detailed size and weight specs would help on the website. I agree. That's needed as well. That's starting off this year in January or February. I did a full redesign on the website. I changed a lot of pages, removed a lot of junk that wasn't necessary, and changed a lot of things. But that is the next thing I want to do. I've incorporated a lot on the website this year, but the next thing I want to do is kind of revamp the actual product pages for the knives themselves. Give you a lot more information. Gerald, you'll take what in an Excel, buddy? Alan Garrow has some friends that have Benchmade knives. They both drive BMWs. I have a couple Benchmades, I think. I do not have a BMW. I guess I missed the connection there. K&N Knives banner for the back wall in the shop. Oh, banners are a neat idea. I wonder what it would take to get some of those printed up. That's great to hear, Chad. Thanks for the great feedback, buddy. Alan likes the pocket sheath. The Bug Out is a cool knife. I've had a number of those here in the shop for sharpening. They're fun. 940 is a nice knife as well. I like the 940. Rocco, we were talking about just earlier in the stream. I mentioned the Puco knife build. I'm ready to get that discussion started back up here and hammered out here now. I kind of pushed it back. I didn't feel right going right on and diving into that. I felt like I had too many loose ends, including builds for you yourselves. I wanted to really chop down my list a bunch and clean up the list a little more, and then I'd feel comfortable adding like a small batch build like that, a custom project to it. And I've got a couple. I know Strapped and Dangerous, sort of little bit the same for you. We're gearing up here to place a really cool custom knife order, one that I plan to share with you guys if Mr. Strapped and Dangerous is okay with it. But I've been working kind of a lot of customs. All of these are custom build projects that have to go out most on timelines, that type of thing for retirements and for Father's Day. And for Father's Day is always kind of a big time around, So I've just been hammering out trying to get a lot of those custom builds. Rocco, I have several of yours to head out. Mr. Dangerous or Strapped. I can go with that. Nurk, would you be down to do a video showing your complete knife collection? I don't have a huge knife collection. Right now, I probably have 20 folders, of which I carry maybe 2. I've probably 20 to 25 folders right now. I carry maybe 2 on occasion. And in terms of fixed blades, most of my own fixed blades that I have are kitchen knives. I have a number of my own kitchen knives because I love to cook, and I have not found many good kitchen knives that I really like. So I've built them. I have them in my kitchen. I use them every day, multiple times a day. And but I don't have a huge collection of my own K&N knives. We build them and they go out the door. And sometimes I build them and we beat on them a little bit, and they get passed along or gifted, or So I don't keep a huge number of them around. I have my own custom puukko, which I've showed here. It's sitting there on the shelf right now, and it is splendid. And I don't have much need for many more than that. That's kind of my do everything. I only want to carry that knife. Nurk, I do not have any. Do I have safe queens? No, I don't have any safe queens. I was going to say my wife gave me, there used to be a company in the US called Texas something customs, but they would take factory built knives and do full custom jobs, full disassembly and custom jobs. And it was a real gold plated Kershaw leak. And I loved the Kershaw leak design. And so that gold plated leak, my wife gave me as a wedding present, gifted to me on our wedding day, I think. And that one is kind of close to a safe queen. It would be like wear with my Sunday suit type of thing. But you asked which determines which blade you choose for the day. Right now, I have 2 categories. This determines which blade I choose for the day. Is it Sunday or is it not Sunday? It's binary, 0 or 1. Sunday or not Sunday. And if it's Sunday right now, I've been carrying my Spyderco Dragonfly because it's so teeny and light. I can put it inside my suit jacket and I do not feel it at all. And that's what I like. I want to have a knife on me, but it disappears in my jacket. And if it's not Sunday right now for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, it's been a mini tradesman. It's the best that I've found to do what I do every day, which is work in a rough environment. And not just work, but I'm around the house with the girls and we're homeschooling and I'm in the office and all of those things. It just works great. Oh, Rocco, that's a beautiful thing. And imagine you're not even halfway there yet. You're probably like 40% of the way there of where you're headed. Isn't that special? I'm going to have to chime out, guys. It is almost 10 minutes after the hour, and I have had a fantastic time hanging out with you guys. And I'm sure my wife is waiting for me at this point. Check out, if you would, knknives.ca. Take advantage of code DAD for 10% off your entire order. Have a wonderful Father's Day weekend. I'm looking forward to my Father's Day weekend. Looking forward to hanging out with family tomorrow. If I could, should I reveal it? You guys won't get to see it, but the boat is getting in for a little trial tomorrow. Just a trial run. It's not all done and complete. Everything's rough, but there needs to be a trial before it gets the finished work. Otherwise, I can't chance it. So that's happening tomorrow on Father's Day weekend, which I'm super excited. Sunday, I'm excited. I love going to church on Father's Day with my family, and the girls get all in their dresses. It's beautiful. Sunday evening, we're headed to the retirement home. The pastor, my dad, myself, probably my uncle, a couple of us. And we go to play some hymns and choruses and stuff. That's grand. As I've mentioned here before, they appreciate it so much. And that just makes it so much fun. It's nice to be appreciated. So that's what my weekend is going to look like. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the laughs. Rocco, absolutely. Would love to build that. Rocco, thanks for the prayers this week, buddy. There you go. There you go. Happy Father's Day to you all. Have a great night.